Hi everyone, Melissa here. In today's video, I want to talk about how to remove a third party. So if you have a third party in your reality and you are not wanting them around anymore, this video is for you. Before I get started, we are still giving away a free course, How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. You can find the link for that in the description of this video. Okay, let's talk about third parties. First of all, what is a third party? A third party is any person showing up in your experience that you just don't want around anymore. Maybe you feel like they are preventing you from getting what you want in any area of your life. This can be with a romantic relationship. This can be at work. Maybe it's a bad boss or coworker. This could be a bad neighbor, somebody just making things frustrating for you. And you just think you would prefer if they were not showing up in your reality anymore, okay? So this video applies to any kind of third party. So there are two schools of thought on this in the law of attraction, law of assumption community. And I want to talk about both of them because I think both of them are very effective. The first way to remove a third party is you remove your attention from them completely. So it's not that you're ignoring them, it's that you acknowledge them and you just decide that they're no longer in existence anymore, okay, in your experience. So an example of that could be, okay, so let's say it's a third party in relation to your specific person, your romantic partner, okay? Somebody you think they're messing around with, or they might be messing around with, or somebody that's preventing you from being with them, okay? So the way you would think about that moving forward would be, oh no, my specific person only has eyes for me. They only desire me. They're only committed to me. They love me. I'm the only man, woman that they want. I'm the only person that they're attracted to, involved with, talking to romantically. So you're completely denying that there's even the possibility of a third party, of anybody else, okay? So that's the first way you would remove it. If maybe it's like a work situation, or let's say you have a bad neighbor. So the way you would do this example, the way you would do this technique for them would be, oh, I have amazing neighbors. All my neighbors are fantastic. I've always had great neighbors. They're all wonderful, lovely, supportive, awesome people. So you're completely denying the fact that you have a bad neighbor at all. So it's acknowledging what you don't like and then completely denying the existence of it. Not ignoring it, denying it and assuming something else in its place, okay? Because if you ignore it, you know, what you resist persists. So if you ignore it and don't change your story about it, that person is still going to keep showing up in the way that they were showing up because you haven't assumed something different or better about them, okay? And that leads me to my next way to deal with a third party. And sometimes I find clients find this way easier because it seems more possible. So if you are having a hard time just denying a third party's existence to remove them, another way to approach it would be start assuming something different is true about who they are, about what they mean in your experience. Because remember, you are giving everything meaning. So if you are deciding that somebody is a bother in your life, that somebody is frustrating, you know, in the way of your dreams, gets what you want instead of you, you're right. You're always right, because what you assume is what you get, right? So if you start assuming something wanted about that person, that's what's going to show up in your circumstances. So let's go back to the SP example. There's a third party and you just want them out so you can be with your partner exclusively. So maybe you start to assume, oh, they're not even talking anymore. They're not interested in my SP. In fact, they found somebody else that suits them better. They've moved on and they're not even talking to my SP anymore. They're out of the picture. So see, you're still acknowledging their existence, but you're deciding that they're gone. You're deciding something new and different is true about them that benefits them as well. You know, they've moved on, they're happier with someone else, okay? Or maybe they were never a romantic interest in the first place. That's just their cousin. That's just somebody they met through a coworker and they're helping them with a project. That's just a friend of a friend. That person's actually dating their friend. Create a different narrative about who that person is, about what that person means to you, okay, in relation to your experience with them, in relation to your desires. If we were going to apply this example to work, it could be, oh, well, yeah, this person let's say you have a bad boss. So your new assumption could be, well, this person has no power over me. Do they exist? Sure. But they have no power over me because I actually report above them. I'm not on their team anymore. I don't have to deal with them anymore. They're not responsible for anything. They completely leave me alone because they have no power over me anymore. Okay. And maybe you can also decide, let's say it's a bad coworker, this person wasn't happy and they're moving on. They're leaving the company. They found a better job. Okay. So see how both ways you're addressing the main issue, which is your assumptions about that third party. So what are you assuming is true about this unwanted visitor in your reality? Because that's what's keeping them there in the way that they are showing up that you don't like. When you change your thoughts about who they are, why they're there, that they're there, then your circumstances are going to show that back to you. They're going to, and it's going to work out beautifully. They're going to magically move away. They're going to find, something will happen that will make them disappear from your experience, but it can be beneficial for all parties involved. So another nice thing to do is just always assume that not only does everything always work in your favor, but whatever happens with anybody in your experience, it's something they want to experience as well. Like the third party, send them off with love, so to speak, right? So this job wasn't working out for them either. It wasn't making them happy either, so they found something better. Your SP wasn't what they really wanted, so they found someone better. So use that to help you justify it if you need to in your mind. But really, all that ever needs to happen to change something in your experience is to decide something different is true about it. Start to assume better. So if you're not sure what that is, just start to assume, I don't have to worry about them anymore. They are not in the way of my happiness because this person only loves me and chooses me and commits to me. This boss, doesn't have anything to do with my role at work. This neighbor is always really kind and nice and wonderful, or I only have nice and wonderful neighbors. This family member is always loving and a joy to be around. And, so think about, what am I assuming is true about this perceived third party? What do I feel like they're taking away from me? What do I feel like they're in the way of? And then go from there. Okay. But like I said, you can approach it two ways. You can just decide that they don't exist. Third party? What third party? There is no third party. This is what's true about my experience. And then you just decide that your ideal relationship, your ideal scenario is what's true right now instead. Okay. Or you decide something new and different is true about that third party that benefits everybody. Okay. So I hope this helps clear it up. I've seen a lot of people get confused because they're like, am I supposed to focus on the third party? Am I not supposed to focus on the third party? And, this gives you kind of a way to do whichever feels the most comfortable for you. But remember, your main goal is always to change your story about whatever is showing up. Because if you ignore something, but then you don't change your assumptions, your circumstances are not going to change. They're not going to show up the way you would like. Really, I just wanted to talk about third parties because we've been getting so many questions about it. So many subscribers and viewers and clients trying to remove an unwanted person from their experience. And you never have to do anything in this physical reality. You never have to force a situation. If you find yourself trying to take action out here to change something, to persuade somebody to not talk to somebody anymore, to persuade somebody to change a situation for you because you don't like somebody in it, that is not the right way to go about it. That's going to keep you stuck in a bad storyline. That's going to keep that situation unwanted in your experience because you're not changing it here. You got to always change it here first. So start assuming wanted things are true about your desires in relation to those third parties. Whether it's SP, family, work, friends, neighbors, It doesn't matter who the person is. Start to assume better. If you need help figuring out what you are currently assuming that's keeping this third party around, I'm available for one-on-one coaching. I would love to help you. You can find the link for that in the description of this video. And just, check in with yourself. Always ask yourself, what am I believing is true about this right now? Because if it makes me feel crappy, if it means that this person sticks around, then I need to change my story. I need to change my assumptions so that they are, bye. Okay. So I intend this video helped you. If you have some success removing a third party, please post that in the comments. It's super inspiring for everybody that listens and watches. And I think that's it for this one. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one.